Mimic 3. Sentinel is a 2003 creature feature directed by J.T. Petty. A Strickler's disease survivor confined to his New York apartment passes the time by photographing the world outside his window, but when his neighbours begin to disappear, he suspects that the human-mimicking bugs have returned once again. But before we get into this thorax thrashing threequel, I just want to ask that if you end up enjoying this video, then please consider dropping a like and maybe even subscribe, as it really helps my channel grow. So thanks! Also, there will be full spoilers ahead, but if that doesn't bother you, then grab your deep-fried crab claw flavoured popcorn and whip out your favourite jousting lance as we dive into Mimic 3. Sentinel. So the movie begins with this fella doing something, but we don't get to see what it is, so let's just assume he's making a bacon sandwich. Oh dear, looks like he was too vigorous with the tomato ketchup. Then we see someone partaking in that normal everyday activity, watching a kid at night through a camera. The kid wanders into this dark alley and finds a pair of glasses on the ground thinking, "Ha! Up yours, Vision Express! I get my spectacles for free!" But then he hears something odd nearby and finds this poor little piggy on, all like,
"Do yourself a favor. Don't turn around." I told you not to turn around.
But all the photographer sees is a dark figure disappearing into the night. And from the side he looks a bit like Chris Evans, an anemic Chris Evans, so let's call him Captain Anemica, or maybe just Cap for short. Then we get the opening credits with some music I can only describe as being perfect for a knife fight between two loaves of bread. We also see that Cap has made a big collage from photos of the apartment complex opposite his building. He can't really go outside, you see, because he's allergic to air. Or to be more specific, he's a survivor of Strickler's disease, which was the cockroach plague from the first Mimic. Then his sister shows up and tells him she's found something cool outside.
I think we found a dead body.
Usually people don't smile after saying such things, so I don't know if I trust you. I'm going to call her Grin, because she is smiling for about 85% of her screen time.
Did you finish my biology homework?
Yeah, I did, but I don't think you're going to like my answers. What are the most important parts of a cell? The fists, so it can beat up Goku and his mates. Describe what DNA is. A Predator ripoff starring Mark Dacascos and Jurgen Prochnow. Are genes hereditary? If my dad passed his genes down to me, I don't think I'd wear them. He's probably pumped in them loads. A+. As Cap is window watching, Grin says,
What do you see?
Outside, obviously. But I also see that shady looking fella who moved into the neighbourhood recently.
What are you looking at now?
Still outside! But also,
oh my god, world's #1 dad just lost his shit.
Well, I can't imagine it'd be too hard to find. Just follow the smell. Later that day, Cap sees his sister sat on a bench waiting for someone. And she's even smiling to herself when she's on her own! But when the guy turns up, Cap notices that she's buying drugs off him, and is like, "Hey, sell drugs to my sister and I'll dob you in, you shit! Unless you scoppers a free 20 bag, then I might just forget what I've seen." Then his mum comes in with his lunch and, Pulp Fiction! Ah! Don't shout suddenly like that! These big ears are very sensitive. Oh, sorry, Ken, I just get so excited when I see someone in a film that I recognise from another movie. My word. I wish I was that easy to please. Anyway, his mum, who I'm obviously going to call Honey Bunny, looks at his wall collage and says,
What the neighbours must think.
Probably nothing, because they'll likely never see it, will they? Anyway, she leaves him to his casual voyeurism and, come on, dude, you took 2 tissues to wipe your mouth after drinking water. Think of the trees! Then go and grab a third one because that sycamore over there called you a tosser. Then Grin shows up again, but this time she's brought someone with her. It's that lady from the apartments across the street who Cap likes to watch trimming her toenails, which isn't creepy or weird in the slightest. So I'm going to call her Trim. She sees his collage and says,
It's kind of pervy.
Yeah. And what's this photo? Oh, I call that one Kid About to Regret Winding Up Such a Colossal Stomp.
Are you okay?
You smoke.
Yeah, but I put it out before I even came inside. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's hypersensitive.
Later that evening, and we see this old lady buying something from our resident drug dealer. Old lady, you really don't need to keep buying Parma violets off me in secret. They sell them at the store, you know. But then they hear something down this alley, and out pops that shady-looking fella from a sewer drain. Mr. Dealer goes in for a closer look, while the old lady runs off like, "Heh, now to head to the store and buy some ketamine to go with me sweets." For some reason, Mr. Drug Dealer hides behind this wall with a knife, as if he's expecting the guy to attack him for no reason. But then he gets squirted with blood, and is like, "Oh, are you kidding me? The last thing I need is hepatitis to go along with my syphilis." But then he turns around to find a big bug bastard stood there saying, "Evening, good fellow. Do you have any Parma violets for sale, perchance?" Damn it, what is the obsession with those things? They taste like perfume. "How dare you, sir! I will eviscerate you for such slander! Cap and Grin see his body get dragged away, so they ask their mum to call the cops. A short time later and this detective turns up, and Honey Bunny says,
Do I know you?
Yeah, I was in Mimic 3. Ah, yeah, that's right. He was also in The Relic. Was he? Who did he play in that? Cappuccino, I believe. You know, I probably didn't recognise him because he's likeable in that movie, and the exact opposite in this one. I'm going to call him Detective Richard Head. So Cap and Grin tell him what happened, but the rain outside has washed away all the blood, and Cap ran out of film so he couldn't take any pictures. He thinks they're making it all up for attention, and asks Honey Bunny if her husband might have seen anything.
Cancer.
No thanks, I've heard it's awful. Then he belittles her kids some more, and she does bugger all about it because she's somehow taken a liking to this arsehole. Cut to a few days later and he's now dating Honey Bunny, much to the disgust of Cap. Then Grin and Trim show up, and Trim says that she's seen that shady-looking fella skulking around a lot recently. So Cap asks,
What's he look like?
Have you ever seen the movies Aliens or Pumpkinhead? No. Well, you're missing out because they're great. Anyway, he looks a lot like the actor Lance Henriksen, but with a hat and glasses.
You're wearing perfume.
Oh, God, I didn't even think.
So Trim tries to leave, but can't get past his flailing. On to the next day, and can you guess what Cap's up to? Huffing oxygen? Nope. Spying on the neighbours? Nope. He's spying on the neighbours. Well, that's what I just... With this painter talking to his pet parrot, when all of a sudden... Oh my God, my yellow paint! I don't think it's breathing! Somebody, call an ambulance! But then Trim turns up again saying...
Guess what?
What?
I've given up everything. No cigarettes, no perfume.
Oh, that's great, thanks. But tell me, have you eaten peanuts within the last 3 years? Yeah, I think so. Then Grin shows up, and for the first time in the movie, she isn't smiling. Trim thinks it's because she hasn't had her daily dose of vitamin weed, which pisses her off even more.
You know, fuck off, Carmen. Or get on with fucking my brother so I can stop chaperoning you over here.
Jeez Louise, don't sugarcoat it, Grin. Tell her what you really think. She quickly apologises for being blunt, as she's just frustrated because no one's doing anything about Mr. Dealer's disappearance, and because Richard Head is always around now being a member noggin. Cap thinks that shady fella across the street might have something to do with the recent disappearances, and Trim says her dad is the building manager, so she might be able to steal the key to the shady guy's apartment. What do you think, Cap?
Terrible idea. Fucking terrible idea.
Well, if he's up for it, then so am I. Let's do it. Ugh, fine, but I'm going to need to be high as a kite to go along with this. Oh, looks like I'm running low. I'll have to buy more from the internet oxygen shop. So Cap has a look around to see if the shady fella is out so the girls can check his apartment. But then he notices 2 mysterious figures in the painter's apartment below. It's a good job he's at the Yellow Paint's funeral today. The girls go into the shady guy's apartment while Cap keeps a lookout through his camera. And who knew we were going to get 2 movies in the space of 3 weeks which have similarities to Hitchcock's Rear Window? Certainly not me! But then someone comes out of the darkness and grabs Grin. So Trim legs it, leaving Cap thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Then he goes to ask his mum for help, only to hear her and Richard Head playing a game of Hungry Hippos, or whatever it is adults do in the bedroom with the door locked. Oh, and the painter's day goes from bad to worse too, because as soon as he gets home from the funeral, he's attacked and killed by a bug bastard. Poor fella. At least he can be buried next to his precious yellow paint. Back to Cap, whose mum is more bothered that her intimate board game session with Richard was interrupted than her daughter being in danger. So Cap says,
I'm calling the cops.
I am the cops!
well, how many cops are you then? Because I only see one and he's useless as fuck. Then they hear someone banging on the door, and they open it to find Lance Mocking Henriksen. Oh yeah! And he's got Grin with her, saying she broke into his apartment. So Richard says,
You are not leaving your room till you are cleaned up. You understand?
Who do you think you are?
exactly! He's known her for less than a week and he's bossing her around. If I was her, I would have hit the prick. With a sledgehammer. To the nuts.
Hey, now, mummy, daddy button.
Grin then storms off, with her mum apologising on her behalf. And it looks as though she's gone to live with Trim for now, with the two of them just chilling outside when Lance comes out for a shady meeting with these fellas. But what could he be selling them? Tartan paint? Matey bubble bath? Parma violets? Actually, no, the shop ran out of those quicker than bought licence plates.
We are sold out of bought license plates.
Meanwhile, Cap is tidying his room when he recognises the author on the back of one of his books. It's Lance! Turns out he's an expert on the bug bastards. And speaking of bastards, Cap notices Richard Head has gone out for a walk, and somehow both he and this lady bump into each other despite them being the only 2 people on the entire street. That is until Richard spots a mysterious figure in the shadows and goes to ask them a question, only for it to be a bug bastard, who proceeds to give him a proper good stabbing. The lady nearby notices, and this other one is like, "Stay calm and move along, miss. This is official bug bastard business." Actually, on second thought. And so Richard ends up more holy than a Swiss cheese flavoured Bible. Jesus Christ, the things that get some folk off. Disgusting. Then he has a last spaz out before getting a phone call from Trim saying that her and Grin are eavesdropping on Lance's dodgy meeting. Turns out he's selling them bug bastard eggs, which he's been pilfering from a nest down in the sewers. But the numpty buying it goes and opens the bag, and the smell attracts the nearby bug bastards, with Grin and Trim right in the middle of them. Then it attacks, stabbing Grin and then ripping the buyers to pieces, with Lance diving into the car to avoid being turned into a kebab. But he's got a plan, so he whips out a... Sorry, he whips out a cellophane... Oh my god. He whips out... I can't even...
No more drugs for that man.
He whips out a cellophane-wrapped pigeon and chucks it at them like, "Here, take this pigeon and sod off, you bug bastards!"
Bastards!
The plan works and they leave him alone for now, and he notices Trim and the wounded Grin nearby. And poor old Cap can't even do anything to help because his lungs are not very good lungs. But what he can do is call 911, so he does. Then Lance, being a reek bugger, picks up Grin and locks her in the trunk of the car before squirting it with blood.
No! Let her out!
Well, I'm afraid you get a C- for effort, love, and a solid F for effectiveness. Then Lance holds her at gunpoint, makes her pick up the egg bag, and they make their way to Cap's house while a bug bastard descends on the trunk of the car and tries to stab its way in. But thankfully, after a while, they leave her alone and follow the scent of the egg. Lance shows up in Cap's apartment, pushes him over because he's a rotter, and tells Trim to put the egg in the fridge because they taste better cold.
Nobody does anything stupid, and nobody has to die early.
Well, I'd prefer not to die at all if that's an option, Lance. Then he explains.
That egg is one of thousands underground. We've already lost. It's over.
Well, it is with that kind of attitude. Whatever happened to a bit of optimism, eh? Eh? But then they hear something at the door, and it opens to reveal... Oh, it's just Honey Bunny. It was like, "Hey, everyone. Oh, hi, Lance. Are you staying for dinner? Although I do have a no shotguns at the dinner table policy. Not after what happened to Cap's father." What? But then a bug bastard appears and skewers Honey Bunny from behind. So Lance lobs a Molotov cocktail at it, which sets both her and the bug ablaze. Which she kind of deserved for siding with that dickhead over her own kids. But nevertheless, I'm pretty sure this is going to traumatise Cap for the rest of his life. Anyway, that's one bug bastard down. But another one starts breaking through the wall to get in. Hang on a moment, how is Cap not choking to death on the smoke? Shh! It's near the end of the movie! But as Cap and Trim make their way into the kitchen...
Don't shoot, it's us.
Bit late for that, mate. He's already shot her. Lance takes out the egg from the fridge, but then the bug knocks Cap out of the way and stabs the ever-loving shit out of Lance. It's fairly brutal-like, and very entertaining to boot. Meanwhile, Cap drags Trim out to the balcony away from the chaos. Then he comes up with a plan. He cuts into the egg to make it extra smelly, and puts it in the oven along with some oxygen canisters, just as more of the bug bastards show up. Then he hides in the fridge and tries to hold the door shut as they stab him through it. Before, boom! The canisters ignite and the whole apartment goes kablamo! Sometime later and the CDC show up, find Cap in the fridge and are like,
"Where is Lieutenant Ripley? Is she still alive?"
But Cap clearly has no idea what they're talking about, so they just drop it. And so the day is saved. They find Grin in the car trunk and take all three of our heroes to the hospital, where Trim goes to check on Cap and is like, "How are you feeling?" "Like I got stabbed loads while hiding in a fridge." "You?" "I'm okay, though I'm somewhat concerned about the impending bug bastard apocalypse." "Oh yeah. Well, here, I bought some flowers to help cheer you up." "Aw, thanks. But wait, are you allergic to flowers?" End of movie. And there we have it, folks. And I've got to say, I am genuinely surprised at how good this movie is. Now, don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near the same quality as the first movie, but for a low-budget, straight-to-video sequel, I think this is one of the best I've seen in a long time. I really hope that one day they make another Mimic movie showing what happens when all those bug eggs underground hatch, but until then, I guess I'll just have to keep dreaming. So, Mimic 3, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you loathe it? Let me know in the comments below while I mimic the sound of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That was actually really good. How'd you do that? Practice, Ken. Lots and lots of practice. And now, a Velociraptor. that one's a work in progress.